हरिः ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं केवल ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः अभिन्नवर्तः. So this is the guru. The guru, the preceptor, must be free from these qualities. So the teaching is not a profession. You should not make it into a profession, like a professional teacher. Like that, branding oneself, I am the teacher. That doesn't help at all. Because if you decide you are the teacher, that means you won't learn anything. Just by calling yourself the teacher, you become professional. And now you need, there is a psychological need for students. And if students don't come, you will be complaining. Oh, what happened to the society? They lost the values, the tradition is gone, like that. It is all inner psychological need. It should not be like that. You are what you are. And the context demands teaching, teaching happens. So these qualities in the preceptor should be absent. What are they? Dambha, darpa, kuhaka, shathya, maya, matsarya, anurutahankara, mamatvadi dosha vivarjitaha. Dambha is pretentiousness. I was checking Bhashya, 13th chapter Bhashya I was checking. He says, when you have virtues and you make an effort to proclaim those virtues, there is a propensity, dambhitvam, that E is propensity. Wherever E comes, shilarthe ninihi, that is the prachaya. Nin is the prachaya, shila, tachilya. Tachilya ninihi. So that is the propensity. So there is a propensity to declare one's virtues. That is called dambha. So do you know, I have done that yajna the other day. That becomes dambha. Suppose the other person asks, sir, I came to know that you have done a yajna. Is that right? You have to say yes. You should not say I don't know. Or you should not say no. You have to say yes. That is not dambha. But if you say without context, if you say, that becomes dambha. When you have the virtue, you make an effort to proclaim it. The propensity to proclaim. That is dambha. Suppose you don't have virtue. And then you proclaim that you have it. Now what to call it? What name you want to give to it? I don't know. The language fails us. And therefore, in certain commentaries you see that you don't have virtue and we proclaim it. That is taken as dambha. But Shankara is a little more rigorous about it. And Shankara must have gone through the literature, the lexicons, etc. and he gave that meaning. Suppose you don't have the virtue and you proclaim it, you are telling an untruth, asatya it is. Whereas dambha is you have the virtue and you proclaim it. So that should not be there. Darpa means I am the teacher. That should not be there. So, sir, please let me, please, I want to know, who are you, sir? I am Acharya such and such. Acharya is a title and taken by oneself, you know. Nobody gives these titles. People take them. Just print in the card Acharya. That now you are the Acharya. Print 1,000 cards, so you are 1,000 times Acharya. So aisa hota hai. Therefore, that is darpa, means arrogance of a teacher. Darpa. Then kuhaka. Now I am looking at the tika. Whenever you don't get some meaning, you look at the tika. Kuhakam paraprataranam. Kuhaka is cheating others. Cheating. Cheating here, it is not cheating and grabbing their money or whatever. Misleading others. Paraprataranam, misleading others. So, you give them hope that you will get self-knowledge, this and that, and leave them high and dry after a while. That is a misleading others. And then Shatya. Shatyan Naishturyam. That is what Tikakara says. So, Shatha definition is there. Godha Vipriyakrit Chataha. That is the definition. So, you do a harm to the other person, but nobody knows it. That is how it is defined. Godha Vipriyakrit Shataha. But then Tikakara, these words are they have different meanings, and all these qualities are interconnected also. So some shades of difference you can always find, not a problem. So Naishturyam means lack of the tenderness, lack of the softness of heart. Therefore, harsh in actions, harsh in speech, and then take decisions that impact quite a few people without caring for their welfare. So that kind of behavior, so that becomes Naishturyam. Maya Paravyamohanam. Maya is a kapata, so delude others. So make delude, give delusion to others. Means give them a wrong notion and leave them alone. And they will be struggling with it. So, like, suppose Mahatma Ji, please give me some sadhana. Like that somebody comes to me. So I will give my photograph to him and you worship this daily. That will take you to moksha. So that kind of a thing. The classical Indian godman indulges in one or more of these things. That is a very funny, very unfortunate thing. So, and then give the person some chant. There is a thing called chant. And chant mantra. How many mantras are there? They say there is a shastra called Mantra Shastra. So Veda is full of mantras. Anybody who studies Veda, he knows all the mantras. No, there is a separate shastra. So you create mantras. In the shastra you create mantras. Then you proclaim that there are 7 crore mantras. Means 70 million mantras are there. So you give that impression. That means whatever you say becomes a mantra. So, all in the name of Mantra Shastra. This is all kind of spreading misinformation. And then give a mantra. Some mantra. So anything can be mantra. So, Swarna Simhasinadhishthitaye namaha. Chant this. Aham, sir, I am suffering from illness, so you chant this. Kuberaya namaha, chant this. Kubera is about wealth, really speaking. You chant this. How many times? You chant some 10 lakh times. So the person won't bother again for another 4 or 5 years. And then give a name to it. Call it Guru Mantra. Now that is a very special mantra, unlike any other mantra. All kinds of disinformation. Mantra is good, you chant. Now, suppose, Maharaj, I want a mantra, okay? What mantras you have already? Gayatri mantra, do that. Go home and do that. That is enough, you know. But you have to push him, bring him into your flock. Then, no, Gayatri mantra won't do. Come, I'll give you another mantra. And give some mantra. What is the mantra? Look at the Lalita Sahasranama and pick up one nama and put it into Chaturthi Vibhakti. If you can do it that much correctly, he is already, I bow to him because that much he could do correctly. Chaturthi Vibhakti is a big thing for these guys. They are illiterate, I tell you. Quite often. That is what we are looking at. There are always worthy exceptions, but we are not talking of exceptions, you know. So, this is all Maya. Just give a delusion to the people. You need not do anything other than read this book. Take this book and read it, and you will get moksha. Book, I will read it, if it is a small book, I read it a month. If it is a big book, I will read in 6 months. Then what? You read a second time. So first time you did not, whatever you did not get first time, you will get second time. Is that so? So this kind of appeasement, the paravyamohanam, all religions appease people. The politicians and religions, they appease. Politicians will say, we will give a color TV to every one of you. If I come to power, I will give a color TV to all of you. Now, which color TV, sir? Which one you want? We want Sony. Okay, I will give a Sony color TV to all of you if I come to power. This is a politician. This is what religions do. So, appeasement. Paravyamohanam means you have to grow, you have to transform your inner consciousness. No, not like that. That is teaching. No, you need not transform anything. You need not transform the consciousness. No transformation is required. You chant this Guru Mantra, that is enough. Therefore, the fellow goes back, and now he believes that he need not undergo any inner transformation. Just go on chanting a mantra and he will get moksha. That is how he believes. There cannot be a worse misleading than that. Because nothing is going to happen. In spite of your rituals and mantras and other things, nothing is going to happen unless there is a radical inner transformation. That me and mine should be gone. That kind of a transformation you have to acquire. Then only something will happen. So you have to say that clearly. Don't try to appease people. Tell them, call a spade a spade. That is the right way of teaching. While teaching, if you don't tell the truth, then you don't get an opportunity to tell the truth any other time. Because when the person approaches you, if you tell the truth, he will be hurt. And that is not proper also. That is not fair. The person may not be ready for the truth yet. So just guide him in a mild way. But when it comes to the teaching, you should be very firm. Anyway, that is Maya. Then Matsaryam Guneshu Doshakyapanam. So, when somebody has a good quality, present it as a bad quality. Like that. So, when suppose somebody is working hard, yeah, why not? He is very greedy, that's why he is working hard. Like that. Guneshu Doshakyapanam. If you want an example for that, the political pundits and commentators, the way they comment about Shri Narendra Modi ji, that gives the best example. They say all kinds of wrong things about all the right things that he performs. This is how they try to keep them relevant, keep themselves relevant. Otherwise they become irrelevant, you know. So to keep their own relevance, they have to find some fault in him. And therefore search for the fault. This kind of an attitude, if the Guru has, that becomes a bad quality called Matsarya. So, see, I came across someone who proclaims himself to be an Acharya. He says, he was saying in a lecture, addressing a small number of people, small crowd only, he says, see, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is all right, but he doesn't seem to have Shastra in him. Something like that, and something more similar on those lines. This is what is called Matsarya. So, then, you see, he is some 25-year-old brahmachari. Is that the way to talk? So, this is very unfortunate, it is. Matsaryam. Then Anurutam, telling a lie, telling lies. That is Anurutam. Then Ahankara and Mamakara. We have seen that. The me and mine syndrome, I am saying it a dozen times already. So, here he says Ahankaraha Dehabhimanaha. He has his own way of putting it, the Tikakara. So, obsessive identification with the body. Therefore, now service of the body is the religion and body is the God. That's how it becomes. So this is called, and if the teacher is like that, now what message can he give to you? Then mamakara. Mamakara is putra shishyadishu svatvabhimanaha. Suppose the teacher is a family person. He says, this is my son, teaching Vedanta, my son. And after me, my son will teach Vedanta. And I am the head of the matha, and after me, my son will become the head of the matha. This kind of gurus, that is very unfortunate. That is mamakara. And then sishyas. You are all my sishyas. And therefore, somebody else is teaching something, don't go there. Don't listen to him. Because you are all my sishyas. What is that? They just out of curiosity, they come and sit in the class for one or two times, so they become your sishyas. So this kind of svatvabhimana, my sishyas, should stay with me. So you see, a student means studied some Vedanta. They dabble with Vedanta. Dabble, dabbling. Some Vedanta. Some here and some there. Some kind of Tattvavidananda kind of Vedanta. Tattvavidananda is good text. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to give the impression against Tattvavidananda. This is my problem. Tattvavidananda is a good text. Some Vasudeva Dikshita or whosoever has made it, it's a good text. But I just pick up some definitions here and there. So, sir, you teach Vedanta. Okay, sit. There are 5 indriyas, 5 of them. You know what are they? The ears, the eyes. This is the Vedanta. Eyes and ears. And 5 karmendriyas. 5 plus 5, kitna ho gaya? 10 ho gaya. Is that like this tables book will be there, 7 into 3, how much? 21. So that kind of mathematics, that is mathematics. So, therefore, this kind of, this young man, he is a Vedanti, he is doing something. So, then I hear him saying, I don't ask anything. That kind of curiosity is not good also, They do whatever they do. Out of love, if you want to make an inquiry, that is fine. So says, I am doing my Guruji's work. Oh, wonderful. What is your Guruji's work? So, teaching Vedanta. Teaching Vedanta, how it becomes your Guruji's work? Some imagination. Teaching Vedanta is teaching Vedanta. You do a good job of it and try to be a good teacher and help the students to see the truth. Seeing the truth, is it your Guruji's work? Is it not everybody's job? So this kind of trying to give a title to that, a color to that, a sectarianism to that. This type of promoting oneself and one's tradition, so-called one's sect, so that is spread, and that is the goal. That is not the required. That is a disqualification for a guru. So people should know. When you know what you should look for in a guru, you are safe. You will have your samsara, and that you can take care in a different way. Suppose you go to a wrong guy, you will have your samsara and he puts some more samsara on your head. And now you carry all that. So, you see, the religion, the philosophy should ease your burden. It should not add to your burden. People are already burdened. especially in a society like India, where religion is the mainstream, people have a lot of religious baggage with them. You need not add to it. In fact, they can put a lot of religion into your head if you are open. So, you have to make things easier for them. How to make things easier? They should be made to see the truth, the reality. This is real, see it. And this is false, see it. Suppose you make that much, help them see the false as false, and thereby getting a glimpse of the truth. That's it. Their life becomes easy. Once their life becomes easy, that is the greatest service done to the other human being, and that is the greatest religion also. There cannot be a bigger religion than that. This spreading of misinformation in the name of religion, it is a monstrous act, it is, because it is so painful for the other people. They carry this conditioning that we put into their heads to their grave, and they are burdened by that conditioning. They are stifled by that conditioning. And what a misfortune it is. Should not be done. So these are some of the qualities that the Guru should have, and also qualities that the Guru should not have. Okay. Now we come to the teaching part. Then what is that done in all these classes? Preparation. So at this point I want to make a distinction. The preparation for the study of Vedanta is itself Vedanta. Don't think it is different. Similarly, the preparation for meditation is itself meditation. Suppose you are going to the gym, you are walking briskly. Where are you going? Going to the gym. For what? For doing exercise. But that brisk walking to the gym itself is an exercise. It is not that the real exercise begins in the gym, not necessarily. If the gym is at 1 mile away, just go to the gym and have darshan and come back. That becomes a very good exercise. So, all preparation of Vedanta is Vedanta. It is not the same in other cases. Suppose the person is prepared for surgery. That is not surgery. The preparation for surgery is different, surgery is different. It is not so in Vedanta. It is not so in meditation. Because here, it is not about preparing, or it's not a process. It is seeing the truth. So the so-called preparation itself is an attempt, real good attempt to see the truth. Like qualifications, jijnasu, so viveka, vairagya, these are the preparations. That is the greatest Vedanta, really speaking. Therefore, you should not be under the impression that for 6 days he prepared and then he started Vedanta. No, on day 1, the first class itself is the beginning of Vedanta. Good. Then, kevala paranugraha prayojanaha vidyopayogarthi purvamupadishet. The Acharya has to teach, upadishet. It's a mandate. The Acharya should teach. When the student approaches, you should teach. You should not hold back. We have seen that. Then here, you see, what is the motive in teaching Vedanta to the student? What is the motive? So, here the Acharya says something, and the Tikakara really wrote very well. You see, there are actions which do not have any motive. There is a karma called pratipatti karma. In Mimamsa, you find it. Mimamsakas discuss it. Pratipatti karma. Generally, the example given is Chatvale Krishna Vishanam prayachati. Yeah. Prasyati. Chatvale Krishna Vishanam prasyati. That is in Veda. Taitriya Samhita Upayuktasya Akirnakarasya Avishishyamana Dravyader Vihita Deshe Samskara Vishesha Hetu Prekshepaha pratipatti karma. Yeah. Jyotishtome, you see, there is a yajna called Jyotishtoma. In that, the Yajamana, he ties the horn of a deer to his hand. Krishna Vishana. So Vishana is the horn of the Krishna Mruga. The horn of the Krishna Mruga has died and it's a Vishana. The horn is collected and that piece of horn is tied to the right hand of the Yajamana. The person who is performing the yajna, it is tied to him. And after that is part of the Diksha. There is a thing called Diksha. Diksha means he takes a vow to perform this yajna. And then a few things are done as part of that Diksha. And one of them is Krishna Vishana is tied to the hand. And then the Diksha is over. After 5 days it is over. Now what to do with this? You have to do something about it. You have to give it up, you know. The Diksha thing has to be given up at the time of ending the Diksha. Now what should I do with this? So there is a vessel called Chatwala. And this has to be put into that vessel. So you put it somewhere. That is called Pratipatti Karma. I gave the example of the Jyotishtoma, that is the Mimamsaka's example. I can give you a contemporary example. Like you make a murti, an idol of Ganapati during Ganesh Chaturthi, etc. With the clay, you make a murti. Some murti you make and put it there and then worship for a day or for 3 days or 9 days, whatever. And then what will you do with that clay idol? Drop it into water, some water body. That is called Pratipatti Karma. Okay? So then you worship God with a few flowers, say. Next day, the flowers are now called Nirmalyam. They have withered away and they cannot sit on the God like that because they will start rotting, the flowers. And therefore you have to remove them. And then remove and throw on the road. You should not do that. There is a way to throw them. Where should you throw? Go to a tree. And the tree has at the base some arrangement is made to put water, to hold water. Into that you throw. That is the Pratipatti Karma. Okay? Now, the Guru, the Acharya, he has seen the truth. He has seen the truth. Like, I am not, the attachment to wealth is false. So, the wealth is, it is nothing. You don't need wealth to be happy. There is no connection between wealth and happiness. This guy sees that. The whole world doesn't see it. The whole world believes that wealth will make them happy and they are after the wealth. But here comes one guy. He sees there is no connection between the two. Wealth doesn't make you happy. On the other hand, it makes you unhappy. He sees it. Now that is the truth. He saw. What is called jnanam. He has seen the truth. His purpose is served. Now he is not going to become a slave to the wealth. Now what should he do with this truth? This vision? What should he do? He has to do pratipatti karma, you know. Because the vision has served its purpose. He doesn't need it anymore. He is not going to seek wealth for the sake of happiness. That is over for him. Now this vision, he has to put it in somewhere. He has to put somewhere. Like Krishna Vishana is thrown into Chatwala, worshipped image of the god is thrown into a water body. This vision you throw into the head of a deserving student. What a thing it is. That's why he teaches. When you throw Krishna Vishana into a Chatwala, you don't get any benefit out of it. You eat a banana and throw the peel into the base of a plant, there it becomes the manure for the plant. You don't get anything out of that banana peel. The plant gets something, you don't get anything. But still, you don't throw it on the road. You throw it at the base of a plant only. Because that is the right way of throwing. Similarly, this vision, It has made me blessed. I am blessed by that vision. Now what should I do with that vision? It need not bless me anymore. Sakrud vibhatam. The truth, you see it, that's it. You need not see it every day. It is not necessary. It is like calling the wife honey every day, not necessary. So, you need, the wealth is not happiness. Every day, morning, afternoon, is not necessary. One time you see it, you see it. Now the vision, you don't need it. The job is done. Once the job is done, you have to do pratipatti karma. And the pratipatti karma is find a proper receptacle, right kind of a head, and put into that. That is the purpose. That is called vidyopayoga. That is the meaning given. He could simply say, for the good use of the knowledge, but the Tikakara is a mimamsaka, and therefore he gave a wonderful explanation. I could not have arrived at it without Tika. So this is how Tika helps us. And then, what is not needed for you, it can give a big break for the other person. It uplifts the other person. That's why you give this knowledge to the other person. That is the meaning. So, vidyopayogarthi, it has done the purpose for you, and now it is not, you need not hold on to it anymore. You should give it to others. You should put it in the right place. And then kevala paranugraha prayojanaha. By putting this wisdom or this knowledge in somebody's head, there is a prayojanam, a purpose. You don't need anything. If you seek something, that becomes a phala. And if you don't seek anything for yourself, but still there is a benefit coming out of that vision, that benefit goes to the other person. That is called prayojana. Whatever goes to the other is prayojana. Whatever I seek for myself is phala. So you have to give up phala and allow prayojana to come to operation. This is called karma yoga. You have to give up phala and let prayojana happen. So that must be the only goal. Kevala paranugraha prayojanaha upadishet. You have to teach like that. So, you see, I have known a Vyakaranacharya, the great teacher of Vyakarana, and so he used to teach Mahabhashya. I studied Mahabhashya Vyakaranam with him. MA specialization is Vyakaranam, means up to Mahabhashya you study more or less, whatever. So I studied with him. He teaches Vyakarana Mahabhashya, the highest text. And then once I walk away, a small boy of 10 years comes to him and he teaches him Rama Shabda. Ramaha Ramo Rama, like that. He teaches both with the same enthusiasm, same love. This is how. There is no selfish goal to be accomplished. This is what I mean, there is no agenda. Just blessing the other person. That is the only purpose served. This is how the acharyas teach. That is how the knowledge has come till today. It is not the colleges and universities which made this knowledge popular. Colleges and universities have not done much. Some academic work goes on and some research they do, they come out with some good papers, this and that. They do their bit, but this knowledge, like Shankara's teachings, Upanishads, Gita, etc., in India, it is there, vibrant in the society, not because of colleges and universities or educational institutions, not because of mathas. If you depend upon matha, the knowledge would have disappeared totally by now. Not because of mathas. Matha, you know, they close the doors and study among themselves, 2-3 people only they study. The others should not even listen to what they study. That is the kind of condition they put. If somebody else has to listen to their teaching, they don't allow it. But for some reason somebody pushes himself and then there is a barrier in between. You sit outside the barrier and listen. barrier. The idea is, we are not teaching you. You are not worthy of teaching. We are not teaching you. Without our involvement, you are listening. That good or bad comes to you. We are safe. They are very insecure people. This is how, you see, some of the Mahatmas, beginning with Swami Vivekananda, they have taken out this wisdom and put it in the domain of people, in the public domain. Otherwise, this wisdom would have perished behind closed doors of a handful of mathas and pithas. Amazing how orthodoxy on one side, it is responsible for keeping all this wisdom alive, and at the same time it is responsible for taking out this wisdom from the public domain. Very self-contradictory approach. Anyway, I felt it all came through me in a very spontaneous way, because somehow the context seemed to be like that. Over. That part is over. Now the Upadesha. What is the instruction? Sadeva somye damagra asit ekameva dvitiyam. So that is how the Upadesha begins. He Somya. Somya, the teacher addresses the student as Somya. Somya means Somavat Priyadarshana. That is Ramayana word it is. So Priyadarshana, that is how Shankara gave the meaning of that word. So the teacher tells the student, I love you, I am happy to see you. See you means what? I am happy to see that you have come to me first for the purpose of studying. I am happy. Oh, he has come, this nuisance, now I have to take a class to him. Not like that. I am happy to see you came for the class. Please come. That is how the student is addressed. And then, so what is the origin of this universe? That is the instruction, teaching. Idam, this universe. This universe, agre, before its creation, what was it? It is like asking, what is the origin of this universe? You see, people, they look around. And how a child is coming into existence in this world, so they see around. So now it is like you are asking, what is the origin of all this life? As though it is not the life alone which came into existence. Non-life also is part of the universe. But you focus on the life. Non-life you don't bother. Because somehow life includes non-life also. When you say a human being, is it life or non-life? Both. Therefore, put it like this. Yato va imani bhutani jayante. So all these life forms, take it like that. Bhuta, don't take it as Panchabhuta now. That also you can take. All these life forms, where from did they originate? That is the question. This is how the rishis investigated. You see, it all depends upon where is your focus. Suppose two people meet. And then they are discussing. Discussing what? They are discussing stock market or politics, something they are discussing. Now we know where is their focus. Suppose they are discussing, hey, what is the Sat? How this universe came into existence. Suppose they are discussing that. That shows where is their focus. So there are two kinds of focus. So focus in Sanskrit is called drishti. Drishti is focus. Not just seeing, look. It is focus. So karya drishti versus karana drishti. There are two kinds of focus. You think about this. So in life, are you focused on the effect, karya, or are you focused on the cause, karana? Where is your focus? For example, I will ask you a question. Here is a person, I will not tell you it is male or female, a person focused on various ornaments. And then here is another person focused on gold. Okay? Now, who are those persons? Can you identify? You should be able to identify. So the person focused on a variety of ornaments is a young lady just about to get married. Something like that. And this person who is focused on gold, he could be a chemist working on the chemistry of gold. He could be. So could you see the difference in the focus? So when your focus is on the effects, karya, you are a samsari. When your focus is on the karana, you are a liberated soul. Therefore, in every single occasion, you should focus on the cause, on the karana. You should not focus on the karya. Suppose, here is a gentleman, his wife gave birth to a child, gave birth to a male child. Now, where is his focus? He is my son. Ho gaya. That person is trapped now. Kharch ho gaya, something like that they say, He is consumed by what is called attachment, and he will carry this attachment to the grave. Suppose he says, this child is an expression of that universal power called God. He is a wise man. He need not give up a family and go to sannyasa and all that. So, where is your focus? So, focus is it on karya or karana? Therefore, the advice, I gave some example, even a better example can be given. Sometimes, whatever example comes, okay? You can always figure out even a better example than that. So, where is your focus? In every given situation, where is your focus? On the karya or karana? You have to see that. And if it is on the karya, you are bound. If it is shifted to karana, you are liberated. Therefore, you look around. When you look around, where is your focus? Is it on the variety and the multiplicity called world? Then what happens, that variety and multiplicity, it brings out attachment and aversion in your heart. Because in that variety and multiplicity, certain things you like, certain you don't like, for whatever reason. There will be a conditioning based on which you like certain things and you don't like certain other things. And then you are attached to the things that you like. You are averse to the things that you don't like. Thereby, through this psychological dependence, you have tied yourself to the things of the world. Now the world is a trap. And you are a worldly person bound good. You don't have any freedom now. You are bound good. These are the samsaris. But suppose, okay, I see the variety and multiplicity, all right, but the variety and multiplicity is not real. Then what is it? It is nama rupa only. This I will explain a lot more. Just wait, take it like that for the present. The variety and multiplicity is only that much. It is nama rupa. It is an appearance. It's an appearance, mildly said. Or it's an apparition. That is what it is. It's an apparition that frightens you, that makes you insecure. And so that is what it is. That is how you get caught in the samsara, when your focus is on the multiplicity and the variety of called the world. But suppose you ask the question, okay, we see the multiple and variable things, we do see them, but what could be the origin of that? What could be the origin of this world? What could be, put in a more simple terms, what could be origin of all these life forms? Now already in asking that question, you have risen above caste, creed, race, religion. All divisive thinking is kept aside. Because you are looking at the one origin of this multiple or multifarious world. That is how Mahatmas look. For the Mahatmas, they see the world and their mind is focused on the cause. Karana drishti. For a samsari, they see the world, they see many, get attached to some, averse to some others, and get caught in the nama rupa. Karya drishti versus karana drishti. That is one thing. Then, let us now take the karana drishti. What could be the origin of all this life? You see, human conditioning is like that. When I suggest you have to put the conditioning aside, quite often people are not willing to do that. Because there is a reason for it. They are identified with the conditioning. By the time you dismiss the conditioning, it is dismissing your own ego. Your own small self is dismissed along with the condition. Suppose I say, I am a Shaiva. Suppose, I am a Shaiva. Shaiva means what? I belong to the sect called Shaivism. I am a Shaiva. Shaiva is what? It's a conditioning. It's a belief system. It's a conditioning that you picked up from childhood, right? And suppose I keep aside. You have to keep it aside, to discover the truth. You cannot be a Shaiva, hardened Shaiva, and you cannot discover the truth. That is not how you discover the truth. So you have to put aside this conditioning called Shaivism, Shaiva, and then discover the truth. You know what happens? You will not be able to put aside this conditioning. You know why? Because your small self is defined by the conditioning. Putting aside the conditioning amounts to death of the small self. And the small self doesn't want to die. Therefore it tells you, how can you put it aside? It came from generations. It is traditional. And these big acharyas are associated with it. Therefore small self has every reason to hold on to its conditioning. Because conditioning is its life. No conditioning is its death. So people just can't wriggle out of their conditioning. That is how they are. It is like you sit in a small room with one window, and now you want to know the entire universe by peeping through a slit in that window. This is the world. I am seeing the world. What world you will see? You open the door, forget about the window slit, open the door and walk out into the open. Then you will see the world. That is the illustration. You got the illustration? This is how people are. They want to sit in their small, cozy prison of conditioning or belief, and through that prison house, prison cell, they look at the world and, oh, this is the Jagat and this is God. So the conditioning you have to keep aside. Why I brought this issue of conditioning, people, they look around. How the life is originating. Father-mother situation, whether it is men or whether it is humans or animals, wherever life comes, mostly, even in plants, mostly, don't throw the exceptions at me, even in the plant kingdom, both flora and fauna, how life originates from father-mother. The opposite sex, father-mother, coming together, life originates. Therefore, at the very beginning of the creation also, the life must have originated the same way. This is called conditioning. Okay? Therefore, the universe must have originated from the first couple, Adi Dampati. Jayacha Patischa Dampati, Dambhava is Adesha is there, Similarly, whether it is Christian mythology or the many varieties of Hindu mythologies, it is always Adi Dampati, the first couple. In Christian mythology, it is a bit twisted a bit differently. It is not the same. Details are not the same. Details vary, but the fundamental conditioning seems to be the same. It is kind of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve are not worshipped. That is a different story. They are sinners also. That is an interesting twist that the Christian mythology gives. Whereas Hindu mythologies, these people they are very clever guys. Their Adi Dampati is Lakshmi Narayana. These are Vaishnavas. No, not Lakshmi Narayana. First, they came later. Lakshmi Narayana came later. Shiva Parvati first. No, Shiva Parvati came later. Lakshmi Narayana first. Shiva is the grandson of Vishnu. So these people, incorrigible fellows these are, I tell you. The Puranic stories, the amount of incalculable harm that they have done to Hindu dharma, so bemoaned Sri Kavyakantha Ganapati Muni. So this is how. Shiva is the grandson, Vishnu is the grandfather. Really, Brahma is in between. Brahma is the son of Vishnu. So this is how universe originated. So that shows that you sit in a small room and look at the world. Upanishads are not like that. Upanishads have a tremendously revolutionary thesis. They have said it is not Adi Dampati or any such thing, Appa. It is altogether different. This entire universe, living, non-living, everything, has its origin in Sad. Sadekameva somyedamagra asit. Then the word origin is Upadana. That Upadana is the Upadana Rasikaha, Vedantinaha. Vedantis, they love Upadana. Upadana is the material cause. Material cause. For Vedantis, Nimitta is irrelevant. These Nayayikas are there, Nimitta. For them, they are Nimitta Pradhanaha, Nayayikaha. For them, everything is Nimitta. For them, their Ishvara is Nimitta, not Upadana. Upadana is Paramanu. And there is no Nimitta for the Sankhyas. They don't have a Nimitta. They said we don't need a Nimitta. The Upadana, Pradhana, will act on its own strength. It doesn't require a Nimitta. Like that they argue among themselves. But the Vedantins, the Upanishads, they are looking at the stuff. That is the Upadana, stuff. The stuff of which this entire universe has been made. What is that stuff? They describe that stuff. It is indescribable. How can you describe the cause? You can only describe the effect. You describe gold to me, I want to see. You describe gold. You will not be able to describe gold. I mean, you take the example in that box. So you will not be able to describe gold in any particular Nama-rupa structure. You cannot. You have to say, none of the popularly known forms are not gold. Then you may say something more than that. Gold is a metal, a noble metal, something like that you have to say. And whatever little you are able to say about gold, it doesn't fit into the elaborate structure of names and forms that are connected with the ornaments. That is the idea of saying that is indescribable. In the case of gold, the example is only, it works only that much. Chalo. So, the universe, you can see it, you can describe it. But the origin of the universe, how are you going to describe it? It is indescribable, but still it is described using the most generalized expressions. So, the generalization that you arrive at to find, to visualize or to see the origin of the universe, it is a mind-boggling generalization. You have to rise to that high level of generalization. Then only you can arrive at what the Upanishad is trying to say. If you are caught in the particulars, particular Vishesha, Brahma, the reality, is called Nirvishesham. It is utterly free from particulars. Even a hint of particular should not come anywhere near that. Particular is guna. No particular. Guna, nama, rupa, these are the particulars. You don't allow them anywhere near. Rise above all particulars, because it is our conditioning that ties us to the particulars. People are very conditioned, so they are tied to the particulars because of the conditioning. You should be able to set aside every single conditioning and rise above to that lofty heights of generalization. I tell you how. You see, when you are talking of the origin of the world, it includes the known and the knower. That's it. I am the knower and everything else is the known. And now you have to find the origin of the known and the knower. That is how you have to reduce. This is called reductionism. In philosophy we reduce it. Reduce it to certain definitive categories so that you can move forward. Even in chemistry, physics, these things they do. Like chemistry is the study of materials, and all the matter, it is reduced to around 100 elements. And now, whatever study of chemistry is there, it belongs to one or more of those elements. So that is how you study. Reduce it to 100 elements. You study the chemistry of water. Water is a compound of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. Therefore, you know what is hydrogen and you know what is oxygen, and now they came together to form a compound called water. So now that is how the study goes. 100 elements, everything is reduced to 100 elements. Somebody goes to the moon and scoops a little dust and brings it. Even that fits into 100 elements. Then they go to the Mars and put a rover there, a robot, and it scoops some dust and analyzes with an atomic spectroscopy then and there and tells these are the elements. Even the stuff on the Mars fits into these 100 elements. Therefore, there is nothing beyond these 100 elements. So that kind of reduction you have to do. So, to find the origin of the universe, I reduce the entire universe into the knower and the known. That is the universe. There is no third. Two things only, knower and known. What is known? Known is there is. First you should know. Without knowing, there is no known. Suppose you don't know. Then what kind of existence would that be? That is altogether unknown to you. Therefore, it is the known. No, Russian language I don't know. Yeah, it is known to you as the thing that is unknown to you. You know it, you know. You know that you know Russian language. And you also know that you don't know it. Therefore, everything is known and the knower. Take it like that in this context. Now examine what is the known. The known is always there is, that is what the known is. So when you say there is, that is the sense of being. Suppose you say, more than sight, touch is better. Suppose you say, there is an iron rod. What is first? There is. You sense the being. You sense the being. And then give a name and form to it. Then give a name to it based on the form. Right? What is it that you sense first? The being or the name and form? The being. It is always the being that you sense. You don't sense name and form. You sense only the being. The name and form are projections of the mind. Like, shall I demonstrate it to you? Okay. Oh, there is. What? Something. What something?